Here is the honest truth. Most military families moving to Fort Bliss make one very expensive mistake before they unpack a single box, and it can cost them thousands of dollars. They spend weeks researching what to pack, but almost no time researching where they're actually going to live. That's how smart families end up stuck in the wrong neighborhood, paying too much, or stuck in a home they can't wait to get out of. If you're getting PCS orders to El Paso, this video is going to help you avoid the biggest mistakes I see over and over again so you can make smarter decisions before you arrive. Let's jump right into the biggest mistake because it's also the ones that cost military families the most money. Before we do, if we haven't met, I'm Chassity Rosales with the PCS Network, and I've sold over 1,500 homes in the El Paso area. If you're looking for honest advice instead of hype, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. Let's start with one of the biggest and potentially the most expensive mistakes I see military families make, and it happens before the moving truck ever arrives. A family gets PCS orders to Fort Bliss, starts browsing Zillow across the country, finds this beautiful home, falls in love with it before they ever have stepped foot in the neighborhood. The photos look great, the price seems right, it's close to post, so that feels like an easy decision, right? The problem is El Paso's neighborhoods are anything but one size fits all. Two homes with nearly the same price tag can offer completely different lifestyles. One might give you an easy commute, highly rated schools, nearby shopping and dining, and strong resale potential, and another could mean that you're sitting in traffic every morning, being farther from amenities than your family wants, or buying in an area that doesn't hold its value well over time. That's why buying a home based on online photos alone can be a costly mistake. The good news is that El Paso is still one of the most affordable housing markets in Texas. Our median home prices remain in the mid to upper 200s, giving many military families opportunities that simply aren't available in other duty stations. But affordability doesn't mean every neighborhood offers the same value. Knowing where you buy is just as important as what you buy. If you can make a house hunting trip to see it for yourself, take that opportunity. Spend a weekend driving the neighborhoods you're considering, visit different times of the day, and pay attention to the commute, the surrounding businesses, and how each area feels. If traveling isn't an option, then work with someone like a strong remote relocation system and knows these neighborhoods well enough to tell you what you can't see in the listing photos online. The right local expert can give you honest insight into the area's lifestyle, long-term value, and whether a home is truly a right fit for your family's goals, not just whether the kitchen looks nice online. There's one more reason not to rush. BAH. Remember in the last video I said what it stands for? Buy a house. The Fort Bliss area received a BAH increase in 2026, giving buyers more purchasing power than they had before. That's great news, but it's also a reason to slow down and make a strategic decision instead of feeling pressured to buy the first house that checks a few boxes. Because the right home isn't just the one you can afford today, it's the strategy behind it when it's time for your next PCS. Now, while buying the right home is a huge piece of the puzzle, there's another expense that catches a lot of newcomers in its snare. Solar panel salesman. Next mistake, you guessed it. I see military families make this mistake after they arrive, assuming that because El Paso gets so much sunshine, installing solar panels is automatically a smart financial move. On the surface, it makes sense. Our summers are hot, the air conditioner runs constantly, and everyone wants to lower their electric bill. But here's the reality. Many people don't realize electricity in El Paso is already relatively affordable compared to many other parts of the country. And for military families who may be only stationed here for a few years, solar doesn't always provide the return they expect. In fact, no value at all is given most often because they're leased, not owned. and lease is the bigger issue. That means they place a lien on your home. I've seen homeowners receive new PCS orders only to discover they still owe thousands of dollars on their solar loan, and this loan has to be paid off at closing or transferred to the new buyer. And not every buyer wants to take on that obligation or can. Their debt-to-income ratio may not allow it. Now, suddenly, something that was supposed to save you money becomes a financial burden when it comes time to sell, which can stop us dead in our tracks. And now you're stuck. That doesn't mean solar is always a bad investment. For some homeowners who plan to stay in El Paso long term, then it can absolutely make sense. But if you're a military family who could receive new orders in just a few years, don't do it! My advice is simple. Before you invest in upgrades like solar panels, make sure they fit your long-term plan, not just your monthly electric bill. And talk to your realtor, me. We can guide your decisions based on facts and help you come up with the best strategy. The goal isn't just to save money while you're living here, it's to make a smart financial decision that will still benefit you when it comes time for your next PCS. Now, speaking of long-term value, let's talk about another mistake I see, assuming every neighborhood in El Paso performs the same in the housing market. So we've already covered two major landmines: committing to a home before you understand the city and solar panels. Neither of those is an intelligence problem, but rather an information problem. You just did not have the right details yet. If you want to go deeper before making any decisions, I have a free relocation guide built specifically for people moving to El Paso. It covers the best neighborhoods, school ratings, and what different parts of the city actually feel like day to day. Grab it using the link in the description. It is the same resource I share with my private relocation clients, and it's yours at no cost. Now, let us talk about what happens when families do look at the housing market here and why what they think they see is not always what they're actually getting. One of the biggest we see is assuming every neighborhood in El Paso is the same investment, and it isn't. A lot of buyers focus on square footage or finishes, but experienced buyers ask a different question. When it's time for my next PCS, how easy will this home be for me to sell? That's where neighborhood matters. El Paso isn't one housing market, it's a collection of very different neighborhoods, each with its own level of demand, price growth, and long-term appeal. Two homes may cost about the same today, but they may not perform the same over the next 5 years. For example, areas on the west side have historically attracted strong buyer demand because of their location, amenities, and lifestyle, yet they're almost double or triple than the other areas. The northeast remains popular with military families because of its close proximity to Fort Bliss, but that alone shouldn't be the only factor in your decision. You also want to think about resale value, future demand, and how quickly homes tend to move when the market changes. When I help military families buy a home, we're not just looking for the nicest house, we're looking for the smartest purchase. The right neighborhood can make a big difference when it comes time for your next PCS. Buying a home isn't just about where you'll live for the next few years, it's also about setting yourself up for a smoother exit when it's time to move. Even the smartest buyers make all the time is they shop for a home based only on the needs today and never think about the day that they'll need to sell it. I call it big eye syndrome. Military families are different from most buyers. There's a good chance you'll receive new orders in 2, 3, 4, or at most 5 years. That means your exit strategy should be a part of your buying strategy from day one. When you're touring homes, don't just ask yourself, can I see my family living here? Ask yourself, will someone else want to buy this home when it's my turn to move? Can I unload it if I have to? And that takes realtors running numbers and having market expertise to help you with that. Sometimes the house with the biggest backyard or the most upgrades isn't the smartest purchase. A home in a stronger location with a more functional floor plan and a broader buyer appeal may put you in a much better financial position. This is why I spend so much time talking to my military buyers about resale before we ever write an offer. We're not just looking for a home you'll love today, we're looking for one that gives you options tomorrow. We all know that the military doesn't always give us much notice when we move, so buying a home that's easy to sell can make that transition a whole lot stressful. The families who build wealth during their military careers aren't necessarily the ones who buy the biggest house. They're the ones who make smart decisions with both their move-in date and their move-out date in mind. Imagine buying a modest home multiple times over PCS and having 3 or 4 homes almost paid off towards your retirement. That's the strategy I'm talking about. Let's bring everything together. At the beginning of this video, I said that many military families spend more time planning their move than they do planning where they're going to live. Hopefully you can see why that matters now. The good news is this: El Paso gives military families a real opportunity to make smart financial decisions. Home prices remain affordable compared to many parts of the country. The market has stayed relatively stable, and the city's economy continues to show positive growth. That's all good news, whether you're buying your first home or adding another property to your long-term wealth building plan. But those opportunities don't automatically translate into good outcomes. The families who do the best here are the ones who slow down before making big decisions. They take time to understand the neighborhoods, and they think twice before making upgrades that may not fit a military quick move lifestyle. They buy with their next PCS already in mind, not just today. If you've watched this far, you're already ahead of where most people are before they arrive in El Paso. You understand the questions to ask and the mistakes to avoid, and that alone can save you a lot of stress and potentially thousands of dollars. The goal isn't just to buy a house in El Paso, it's to make a decision that puts your family in a stronger financial position when it's time for your next move. That's where we come in, true partners who understand how to guide you in all of this. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this video, it's this: every mistake we talked about today is avoidable. None of these families made bad decisions because they weren't smart. They made them because they didn't have local information and expertise before making the big financial decision or the right agent guiding them. Whether it's choosing the right neighborhood, avoiding upgrades that don't fit a military lifestyle, or buying with your next PCS already in mind, a little preparation can save you thousands of dollars and a lot of stress. El Paso is a great place to call home while you're stationed at Fort Bliss. The key is making decisions that work not only for today, but for wherever the military sends you next. If you're getting ready for a PCS to Fort Bliss, make sure you grab my free El Paso relocation guide using the link in the description. It's the same guide I use to help my clients that are relocating and how they understand neighborhoods, schools, commute times, and what it's really like to live in the different parts of the city. And I think it'll make your move a whole lot easier. And if you'd like to talk through your specific situation, whether you're buying your first home, planning your next investment, or just trying to figure out which area fits your family best, I'd be happy to help. You can reach out using the information in the description. If you're serious about making a smart move to El Paso, don't stop here. Watch the next video on your screen because it's designed to help you take the next step with confidence. And do me a favor, please. Subscribe, like, and then share so other families get the same information. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. And thank you for your service.